We've all heard of heroes and villains, and then there are anti-heroes and anti-villains. A villain is someone evil, does bad things for bad reasons, and is cruel and cunning in his ways. And anti-villains would be those who do wrong things but for the right reason, like Joker from DC Comics, or Thanos from MCU, and Magneto from X-Men to some extent. Although, in this video, I'll not talk about anti-villains, villains, or heroes. A hero is someone who is admired for their courage, outstanding achievements, or noble qualities. Examples could be Superman or Iron Man. Sometimes the admiration goes to an extreme level and it becomes hero worship. Cambridge Dictionary defines it as a feeling of extreme admiration for someone, imagining that they have qualities or abilities that are better than anyone else's. Or like Urban Dictionary would say, when you obsess over a certain person who you think is better or more talented than you. We've heard of hero worship before, but there is a new trend on the rise. A new trend of anti-hero worship. Who is an anti-hero? Anti-hero could be a hero who does right things, but not always for the right reason. Some examples of anti-hero would be Walter White from Breaking Bad, Tony Soprano from The Sopranos, Michael Douglas from Falling Down, and Dexter Morgan with his Dark Passage. So why do we like anti-heroes? Because they mirror our frustrations and troubles, and are urged to give people a taste of their own medicine. They are the ones breaking through the usual be a nice guy BS. Something deeply we also realize isn't a great idea. It's good to be bad. In the real world, when it comes to being an anti-hero, we see it around us in the form of sports stars displaying unwarranted aggression, the comedians hurling too many abuses and slangs, the YouTubers that roast and produce diss tracks, the unorthodox gamers, the rule breakers who have become our heroes, and who play dirty and unfair because life isn't fair either. Being an anti-hero is the new definition of cool for a generation so woke. Sometimes we even go ahead to defend these anti-heroes and we claim it's their mannerism, it's their style, their overuse of F-bombs because without dropping an F-bomb, their speech or talk would become less impactful and just fall flat. And if you're an Indian like me, without using slangs like MC, BC, Chew, like your favorite comedian or that character from web series uses, suddenly you don't come across as genuine and human. Now in today's world, being nice is an insult. Being politically correct is an insult too. Politicians being hyper-aggressive, hurling abuses, flipping the fingers, passing sexist and racist remarks, it's only adding to their branding. While the audience at home is either clapping or awestruck with, he did not just say that, in a way that they were impressed by that misdemeanor. Earlier it used to be just politicians who utilized the concept of Overton window. But now everyone else has joined the party. The Overton window is the range of policies politically acceptable to the mainstream population at a given time. It's also known as the window of discourse. The term was named after Joseph P. Overton. So, to shift the window, politicians have been known to say unthinkable to radical things, although not too often. But over some time, it becomes acceptable to even sensible to say such things. And this is something that celebrities who have become the face of new anti-hero utilize too much. Jealousy, anger, hatred, aggression is their weapon of choice. Most of them lack empathy. Their portrayal of self-victimization is a form of virtue signaling, something we all fall prey to. They act like they have been wronged with, after having wronged others through their jabs and roasts without any remorse. It only adds to their character. And guess what? The public loves it too. Nothing smells better than a well-cooked, slang and abuse-filled roast. Now everyone is doing it. Be it in terms of subtle name-calling their best friends, or to even use it at the workplace. To quote Osho, the F word can be used as a noun, pronoun, adverb, adjective, and preposition. Same can be said for cuss words or sexist slurs in your local language that is translated to a figure of speech. This is happening on TV shows by actors, sportsperson, panelists on that TV debate, and especially on social media like Instagram. People form a parasocial relationship with their anti-hero, and then the memes follow and everyone finds it hilarious. Suddenly it becomes an acceptable behavior, and sometimes accidentally we do it in presence of our parents.
Shit! Language!
Everyone uses their version of F words and slang. Even the dictionaries have begun to improvise in a world where being crass and rash is termed as being genuine and original. The real issues have been lost in translation somewhere. These are not the days of George Carlin, rather a pathetic derivative that has recently begun to leave a poor taste in the mouth. It's not about the use of euphemisms or soft language, but somewhere along the line the boundaries were pushed and it has become real ugly, real fast. Enough is effing enough. We have some thinking to do. Even though I like anti-hero more than the hero, they are not just real life anti-hero. They are not Malcolm X or Muhammad Ali or George Carlin. I'm all in the favor of freedom of speech and being crass, provided that's not the only thing and everything you have to offer. But it has been overused to such an extent that it has become repulsive. Of course, except to those who are deep into this so-called anti-hero worship. Time and again, we have seen the fall of these idols and anti-heroes. Quote Harvey Dent from The Dark Knight here.
You either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Yes, we all love the anti-heroes, some more than others to the point of anti-hero worship. But we all have some thinking to do.
Fuck.